After that conversation, Cindy, Woojin, and Elder Bo walked into the forest. Cindy explained that this was not the first time an abomination had appeared. Recently, with the third pioneer city as the epicenter, many people had been turning into abominations, and even the surrounding forest was rapidly being corrupted into the demonic realm. Woojin found it strange that even the forest was changing. After some time, Cindy told them they had arrived. A core was attached to several trees. Priests were gathered around it in prayer, and masked figures were spraying an unknown substance onto the core that looked like holy water. A rift core was an object that spread the demonic realm, and any area where it appeared would gradually become part of it. The priests continued praying for mercy upon their land, while the masked figures kept spraying the strange liquid. Woojin could see their determination to purify the core, but he also knew that it was not an easy task. Still, something felt strange. From what he knew, the power of karma was supposed to weaken the farther it moved from the Northern Empire. Cindy confirmed that his information was correct. Woojin immediately suspected that someone had planted the rift core, and Cindy confirmed his suspicion at once. He already knew that it had to be the work of a dark priest. Cindy added that if the number of abominations and rift cores continued increasing at the current rate, the third city they had worked so hard to build would be in great danger. Elder Bo worried that in the worst-case scenario, they could lose the entire city. That was why they had been carefully searching for the dark priest's hideout, and they had finally found the suspected location of the base. With all of that explained, the elder asked Woojin if he would join the extermination operation that would take place in 2 weeks. Cindy assured him that he would receive the highest level of compensation. Woojin finally understood the quest he was being offered. It was a request from Bo, the elder of the third pioneer city, and Cindy, the only remaining descendant of the golden bug. A request from figures of that level made Woojin smile, and for a moment he wondered if he had finally been acknowledged. After that, the mercenaries continued their journey. Claire told Woojin that she had been genuinely worried because if he had been framed as a dark priest, death would have been the lightest punishment, and she had also heard that they would make him suffer before the end. Hearing that made Woojin imagine the Iron Maiden. Not long after, Claire announced that they had finally arrived. Woojin was stunned when he saw the new city. It was the city behind the walls, Wall City Yurgis. On a scale incomparable to the pioneer cities, it was the safest place in this world. For a moment, Woojin wondered if he would be able to live there someday, but he knew it was not the right time yet. He then called out to Raymond, and Raymond told the other mercenaries to take a short break before moving on. While the Tarasques were taking a nap, Jonathan was surprised to hear that Woojin would be leaving for the third pioneer city. Woojin explained that he had received a new request there. Jonathan knew that going separate ways after a job was normal in their line of work, but he still felt a little sad because Woojin's decision had come so suddenly. Woojin agreed and asked about their next plan. Jonathan and another mercenary proudly told him that they would have some drinks and then drink even more afterward. Woojin found them amusing and then asked Claire about her plan. Claire said that she would have to look for another job. Woojin was confused because she should have earned enough money from the transport mission. Claire explained that although the payout had been decent, she was still far from having enough to go to the magic tower. Woojin asked what the magic tower was. Claire told him that even though she called herself a mage, she had only gathered common knowledge, so her abilities were still barely beyond the beginner level. It was not that she had trouble making a living with her current skills, but she had become a little greedy and wanted to learn higher-class magic. That was why she had been saving money so she could attend the magic tower, where she could study more advanced magic. Woojin compared it to a university and found it admirable that she was working so hard just to keep learning. After thinking for a moment, he searched through his bag and pulled out a pouch filled with gold coins. He asked Claire if that would be enough. Claire was stunned and asked what he was thinking. Woojin simply told her that it was to help her get to the magic tower. Claire humbly refused, saying that she could not possibly be shameless enough to accept it, but Woojin told her that he was not giving it away for free. It was a gift because he was indebted to her. Jonathan and the other mercenaries were amazed by the amount he offered. Claire was still hesitant, so Woojin placed the pouch in her hands without asking permission and simply said his goodbye. "I'll see you again." Claire's face turned pinkish red as she quickly grabbed him. She thanked Woojin and promised that someday she would repay the favor. Woojin then said his goodbyes to everyone. Claire and Jonathan looked saddened as they said farewell. Woojin then left to return to the third pioneer city. The Red Wolf, Rex, who had been resting, stood up and gave Holy Knight Raymond a small nod as if saying something. That gesture made Raymond smile, and he quietly said, "Take care too, Rex." Everyone watched in silence as Woojin and Rex walked away from the group.